The views expressed on the podcast are those of the individuals who made them, and they do not represent the views or beliefs of Job Duck.
Hello to everybody. Welcome to the Pumped Up Quacks. My name is Andres. They call me Andy. I'm from Mexico, and today I'm gonna be your host. We have a low number of usual suspects, but we do have one of them. Present yourself, please, usual suspect.
I am the usual suspect, Miguel, and I'm the one that is from Colombia. Yes, that's me.
Great. No, that's fantastic. And we do have a special guest for this week's podcast. Please introduce yourself, a special guest.
Well, I am the unusual suspect, and my name's America, and I am from Argentina.
We're very glad to have you here, America. So today I have a very special riddle for you all. Should I? Are you ready?
Yes, you
Yes, bring it on.
Oh,
should. Shoot it.
okay.
Boy.
Okay, I like the spirit, America. The riddle is, a girl has as many brothers as sisters, but each brother has only half as many brothers as sisters. How many brothers and sisters are there in the family?
Wait, that's not a riddle, that's a math problem.
Yeah, that's a math problem. It reminded me of, college.
Okay, then I'm not gonna
No,
repeat it
you have to leave it. You have to leave it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay,
I'm gonna leave it like that until the
I'll make my best
middle
guess.
of the episode. Okay, and then we have our quacky news for this week.
Animal rescuers save kitten with glass jar stuck over her head. A cat had a glass jar and it looked like an astronaut, so somebody had to take him out. The animal rescuers nicknamed the little kitty as Buzz Lightyear. Thank you very much.
Aw, that's cute.
That's so cute. Okay, America, what do you have for us today?
Okay, I'll read through my news. A spacecraft that flowed into a small, harmless asteroid millions of miles away succeeded in shifting its orbit, NASA said Tuesday in announcing the results of its Save the World test.
Oh my
And
God.
the spacecraft is called DART, strategically. It's like a dart.
Oh.
So then, yeah, I think that's
Great.
wonderful.
Isn't that
Yeah.
the
Wow, no,
plot
it's
from
fantastic.
Armageddon?
Armageddon
Yeah,
vibes.
exactly.
I was gonna say the same thing. Yeah,
Oh.
Bruce Willis all along.
Yeah.
All right. A 65-year-old Japanese woman was scammed out of around $30,000 in a romance scam by a fake Russian astronaut she met online. They two met on Instagram. They continued messaging for months. Eventually, the man confessed his love to her. The fake astronaut claimed that he would marry her once he's back on Earth from the International Space Station, but that he couldn't go back as easily since he didn't have enough money for the return ticket. The woman proceeded to send $30,000 for him to hop on a rocket and come back home. And of course, like after the guy asked for several times for money on her, she started suspecting that this might be a scam, and she reported it to the police. I don't know the details of how that turned out, but yeah, don't trust astronauts from Instagram, guys.
I gotta give him credit for being so creative. I mean,
Okay, great news, guys. Thank you very much. And we'll see next week what the crazy world departs to us. And then we go and hop to our first topic of the day. Now, technology is one special topic. Watching futuristic movies when we were kids opened the door to imagination, to portray a future full of possibilities. How cities, transportation, nutrition, entertainment, life could change in the future. Fast forward to 2022, some things change as expected, some things didn't, but some change in unexpected ways. We may not have flying cars, but who would imagine would ever see things like air fryers or fidget spinners? Yeah, with new technologies, other technologies became obsolete as well. The cloud replaced the UBSs, which replaced the CDs, which replaced the floppy disks. Of course, if you guys are old enough to have used them. So for this episode, I want us to move through time to check two things. Which technologies caught you off guard? Which others replaced technologies of your past? And do you remember what your reaction was in both cases?
I think the one that caught me by surprise was actually the smartphone.
Yeah.
I was during that transition from the BlackBerry to like a smartphone. I never expected the BlackBerry to go like obsolete
So fast. I remember everyone wanted to have a BlackBerry phone, and
I had one.
I, myself included, wanted to have one. My parents were like, "Why would you want it? You can message everyone and you can call everyone." And I was like, "Fair point."
Well, I read a little post the other day about the types of obsolescence, and one was like scheduled, technical, ecological, and one of them was about being in the trend. It's like people tend to change the way they buy these things or these gadgets because they feel like social pressure for not being on the trend. So that one was a type of obsolescence as well.
Yeah.
So I guess it's similar to what happened to us, like trying to, be on that trend. For me, it was like huge.
Totally.
I mean,
It's huge. Everyone had a BB chat and all of that, and they would have their own groups and comments.
And then one day later, boom.
Yep.
And it happened with the smartphones and the computers.
Right.
One of the technological changes that I think revolutionized the most the industry, which is the video call.
Right. You could see that in the Jetsons, and now you can see it we use it every day.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's part, like as you said it, I'm trying to remember when was like the first time I had like a video call, and I think it was when Messenger implemented it.
Yeah.
And it became like part of our normal day right now.
Or
Part of our
Skype.
routine.
Skype, yeah.
Yeah.
Skype was
I remember that was one of the first ones I had, and back in the day, the first version of the FaceTime appeared for I think it was the iPhone users. That as well was a big change.
Yeah. I mean, with all these changes, I think we are the generation that better adapts to anything. Like maybe we don't get anxiety like my father would, for example, for, I don't know, joining the metaverse.
Yeah.
For us, it's like the ultimate step of things, right?
Right.
So I think what's good about our generation is that we don't get that fear of trying new things.
Yeah. Although I would say,
yeah,
I'm very hesitant, for example, to start in a Real, because I'm like, I understand the point, but I don't see the appeal, and I sound super old when I say that.
Even though we are a more open-minded generation, right now there are like 10,000 social medias, right?
Right.
So like everybody has a different social media that didn't happen back in the day. You had Facebook and you had Facebook, or you had MySpace, you had your MySpace, and that's it. And right now, like every group of 4 or 5 friends, they have one social media that they use, and then you use another one. So that the capabilities, like opening the book and see the catalog of different apps and pages and everything is too tiring for a person who is used to using
one.
3
yeah,
or 4
it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
I guess because I'm in the social media field of things, I try to be everywhere.
Yeah.
Basically, but yeah, I can see that happening. Like, for example, someone who isn't, they probably gonna stick to 1 or 2, and then the rest is like, why would I need that? So
yeah,
I totally agree.
I'm going to make this question to all of you now that we're talking about this. Which are the social medias you use the most?
I'll say Instagram is the first one, and then TikTok.
Right.
And then Facebook, in that order.
Right. You, Andy?
I don't know. It depends the day. But the one that I like to use the most is YouTube.
But YouTube is not a social media per se, right?
Well,
streaming services with a lot of stuff. But I would say, like, I understand you could.
I comment.
I think.
What is social media?
I upload stuff as well. No, I know. I know your point.
I think I have to agree with Andres that even though it's like not a, I mean, Miguel says it's not a social media, but I would say it is, because you're still building a community there, right?
Right.
As Andres shared, like, you encourage people to comment, and then you would respond to those questions and stuff. Maybe what Miguel tries to bring up is like, it's because it's not as immediate. I mean, they can leave a comment there and then you come back 3 days after. It is that immediacy that maybe makes it be a part of what we think of a social media platform. But I think it still is.
It's I think obviously it has that factor of user generated content, and I do believe that that's one of the highest part of any social media. But I do have that it has another factor. It's not just in social media. It has a part of social media, but it has all of this within its own. Like, for example, all of its kind of videos and all of that stuff. You could say the same about any other type of video. For example, I would say Instagram or that. But I see it more as a streaming services with comment section. Because it's the comment section, it's like a Reddit post. You don't say Reddit is a social media, right? Or would you say?
I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to
pinpoint what social media is.
Yes, that's a tough one. Yeah.
And also it depends what's your usage of the platforms.
Right.
Because for me, Facebook is also a streaming service of some sort. Because I don't post. I don't feed my feed, you know, and Instagram as well. I just go there to browse and at the end.
Stories.
Photos.
You post stories?
I post one story every 3 days, but I haven't posted a post in ages. Yeah. I think it's the same with YouTube. I upload a video every 1 or 2 weeks, but I do my gameplays and stuff.
It's a combination of a lot of things. It can be social media, it can be a streaming service, and it's also a forum. So yeah, but that's a great debate we can have like forever. Mm-hmm. But I interrupted you. Which are yours, including YouTube, I guess?
No, the one that I enjoy the most using is YouTube. And then probably Instagram and I don't know, Facebook perhaps. But what I like about Facebook is not it's not the community that I have, because it's dead. Facebook is a bit dead nowadays, but I follow certain pages and I have followed them for a while now, and they create several content. Yeah, it's not just pictures, it's not just videos. In Instagram is basically pictures. In TikTok is basically videos. But Facebook has this combination of different
between them.
Yeah, so you can read, you can watch, you can write, contribute, react. So it's more best. So that's what I like it.
Yeah.
I know it's dead, but I mostly interact or consume content from pages, cinema pages, for instance, like filmmakers and stuff like that. So, and they have like a lot of different types of content, and I like it because it's curated there.
Right.
Not just pictures, not just videos.
And that's what I think is really interesting about YouTube, for example. And we can all agree when there's a TV show on Netflix and Amazon, on whatever streaming service there is, we are all watching it. For example, if Game of Thrones, that one, most of the people are watching it at the same time. But for YouTube and for Facebook, you would have that content made just for you and that you would like. It's your own niche and your own type of content, I would say. Like, I know the things that I watch, only like maybe Te Lo Resumo is the only thing is that I know other people watch as the same as I do. But the content I watch is so random most of the time that I know nobody else would watch it.
Yeah, I think YouTube has also that streaming service. You can buy movies and things, not serious, but maybe you can move serious.
Yeah, YouTube Red.
It's like you said, the content is already like curated for you, and that's the magic of algorithms.
Yeah, that's crazy. That would happen like with TikTok too. Like sometimes it only makes the jokes for you and you would be like, this is the funniest thing I have ever watched in my life, and you show it to someone else and they're like, you need to go to the psychologist.
Yeah, I don't want anybody to look at what TikTok has created for me.
Yeah.
They will know too much about me.
Yeah, I understand that.
I think we have covered a little bit of what will be or could be our second topic, but we're going to a break and then you'll find out. But first, let me remind you of that riddle, which goes like, a girl has as many brothers as sisters, but each brother has only half as many brothers as sisters. How many brothers and sisters are there in the family? Stick around for the answer. It's an ad break.
If you speak English and you don't have a job, go to jobdoc.com and try it out. JobDoc.
So today we have America as our very special guest. She is JobDoc's social media coordinator. We're happy to have you here. And I wanted to take advantage of your presence to talk about social media. I know that we have covered a bit on the first part of the episode, just a little bit. Now, to anybody that hasn't been under a rock for the last 15 years, social media is an important aspect of life. Its importance is such that it has shaped the way we communicate and interact with each other, both for brands and for individuals. To every virtual assistant out there listening to us, make sure to take notes because some good tips and ideas may come from this episode. So, America, I have a couple of questions for you. Let's start with, what are some of your day-to-day tasks as social media coordinator?
Well, my day-to-day tasks are related with the strategies I apply for content. So one of them is actually coming up with the content, right? The content ideas for the whole week. Another part of my day is to engage with several accounts that don't follow us on social media. So actually those are the basic two, right? But I also have to wear like a project manager hat, and that's like the planning part, to kind of like organize all the things that we need to do with the whole team, right? The team that's going to support me with the content. That would be the designers and the video creators. So I guess I'm lucky to have a team that can support me. But yes, those are the three things that I mostly do during the day.
Okay,
so
awesome.
I hope that answers your question. Mm-hmm.
Sure. Some companies out there are old-fashioned and they don't have social media. In your own words, America, how relevant is social media presence for a business nowadays? Do you think that a certain niche can't benefit from having social media?
I have to disagree with the last one. Yeah, I have to disagree with the last one. I think, well, first, yes, it's very relevant. I think the relevance of it is because it's actually a free, like for the most part. Like if it's free, why wouldn't a business try it, right? And basically, I mean, I don't have the insights handy, but everybody uses social media. It's like billions of people are on Instagram currently. So I think social media have become the new billboards where you place your business on. It's not just the one you find on the street, right? But
it's even more effective than billboards because they can be targeted to the ones that you want to.
Yes. And well, you have the algorithm, like they can play in your favor as well. Even if you don't pay, in some cases they can help you reach the people you're aiming to reach. So I think, yes, responding to both of your questions, yes, they're relevant. And yes, I think even small businesses can take advantage of it, especially small businesses, because they can generate more content that is closer to their audience. Like if you're a business owner, say a baker, I don't know, or even a lawyer, and you're a solo attorney, like maybe you can be the spokesperson to talk in your videos, but you would still need someone to guide you, right? That's the role of the social media manager. like to guide you to check or do research of what's relevant for the lawyer's audience, and you give it to them scripted so that they can record it. So yeah, I hope that responds to your question.
Yeah, no, totally. So now that I created my social media, we're gonna talk about the strategies, not posting just for posting. That's what I would like to think of. Like maybe you can tell me otherwise. But what do you need to consider to start a social media strategy?
Well, first, a lot of research about your audience. That's where you start.
Yeah.
Like you gotta define who your audience is going to be and find out what's relevant to them. Because mainly we're focusing on a content strategy, not the ad part of it, because that's a different topic. But I'll go with whatever is organic, which is the organic content strategy. So you first find out who they are, then you can use a tool like Answer the Public, like to find out what are the questions those people are asking the most. And then you try to respond to those questions with your content. I think that defines like my favorite strategy ever. But yes, to summarize, you have to start with your audience, with doing research about your audience.
But what can you add to what America said, Miguel? To those who don't know, like Miguel is also a social media coordinator here at Chapter.
Okay. You would have to see which post is the most successful one from the ones you have, and see if you could repeat that method in a certain way it doesn't feel repetitive. That way your audience will see what they like the most about your page and will try to follow it more because of that, right?
Yes, I think you have brought up a great topic, which is like the part of the report, right?
Yeah.
Like you need to analyze all that data that you got from the content you posted and use those insights to create new content or to adjust the one that you have posted. So I think that's also very relevant, even though it's like on the last part of the pipeline, the social media pipeline, but it's still super relevant. So yeah, definitely something to have in mind.
Okay, no,
and have
fantastic.
An attractive message and a call to action that will always help you.
Yeah, copywriting. I think copywriting is one of the major challenges right now because we tend to focus so much on the social media content creation that we tend to leave copywriting last. But that's also like a skill that you need to build a lot because it almost feels like the core of everything. Like you write the scripts thanks to copywriting. And you sell thanks to how you describe the services you're gonna provide, right? So yeah, it's a super relevant skill. Mm-hmm.
So I identify my audience, right? I now know which are the posts that I post or that my company posts that are the ones that people like the most, and I know how to replicate them without being repetitive. And I already know how to do this process of checking everything, how is performing. And you brought up a good topic, which is copywriting. Can we get any tips to improve our copywriting? Will copywriting only be for people to read it, let's say, or it also fits the algorithm? I've heard about that as well, picking the right words and stuff.
Yeah, you have to pick the right words so that when they're searching for something, you would find it in the, like, for example, the page you're searching for. For example, you're searching for, I don't know, looking for a job or stuff like that. So that would be on us, America and I, to write something that would attract the algorithm and would make it easier for you to find our page so you can apply to any of our positions. That's part of it. And also like convincing you that the thing that you want to do right now is applying to that same position.
Yeah, I have to support Miguel on that because you juggle with those two things, right? One tip that I could share is to actually, when you're starting, something that really helps me is to find out the copywriting formulas. Right now, top of mind, I don't have one. Is the pasta one, for example. I know there's one called pasta, but you can do your own research. There's several copywriting formulas, and that's one thing I would encourage everyone to do research about. And the other thing is to juggle between those two, like convincing, like being persuasive, like Miguel said, and then the optimizing with keywords so that your content will be easy to find. So I think I have to agree with Miguel on that.
Yeah, that is right. And the best tip I can give you is write a lot. Like if you're going to have a write, you're going to write something, then write it again, correct it, write it again, correct it, write it again, correct it. Practice makes perfect, and that's for everything and mostly for writing.
Exactly.
All right. That's great. That's fantastic. Well, one last question, guys. Taking everything that you have said so far into account, how can a person who doesn't know anything about social media find inspiration to see what they can, in which train they can jump in?
That process, like in the social media management world, is called curating content. Like you actively, more than how you do it, like when you're not at work. No, you actively take like 20 minutes every day to look at, for example, TikTok or to the posts on Instagram to see what's trending. Or maybe you can do reverse engineering of what others are doing. Those others could be your competitors, or they could be like marketing gurus, right? So you kind of reverse engineer. If you see a pattern in the feed that they're using, that's actually reverse engineering their strategy and see how it can adapt to your niche, right? Not to copy it, you need to adapt it.
Great. Okay, well, thank you to our social media managers, especially to America, for joining us today. Guys, if you have any tips that have helped you in the past to grow your social media, please leave them on the comments on YouTube. It will help us a lot. We're going to check your comments. And we're going back to that riddle. I'm going to read it for the third time. A girl has as many brothers as sisters, but each brother has only half as many brothers as sisters. How many brothers and sisters are there in the family? Somebody has an answer? America.
I would say 11, but please don't make me reason it. Don't make me do the reasoning about it.
No, unfortunately, that's not the right answer. Okay. But thank you for your try. Me.
So the girl has 2 brothers, 1 sister, and they have a half sister. So
no. Also, it's not a tricky question. It's not half sisters, half brothers, or stuff like that. It's just plain sisters, plain brothers. Okay. The answer, I'm going to give you the answer, but thank you for trying. Both of our social medias did a great job. The answer is 4 sisters and 3 brothers.
Of course.
Because each sister has 3 sisters and 3 brothers, which is as many brothers as sisters. And each brother only has 2 brothers and 4 sisters, which is as double as sisters as brothers.
Okay, so I got confused.
But I think I won because not only I got it was like an uneven number, but I'm closer to the answer. So no, I'm kidding.
Well, considering, well, I can give you a third of a point. I can give you a third of a point.
That works for me.
And Mia, since you consider half sisters, I'm gonna give you a half point.
That's fine
for you.
That's more.
No, I'm kidding. But thank you very much for you trying. And guys, well, thank you to America for joining us for today's episode. And to the viewers out there, if you want to have a one life career opportunity, apply to one of our opportunities. You can go to our website, www.jobduck.com, and apply there. Follow us on Facebook at The Job Duck. You can find us on Instagram at The Job Duck. You can find us on Twitter at _Job Duck. You can find us on LinkedIn at The Job Duck. You can find us on YouTube as The Job Duck. Follow us on TikTok at The Job Duck. Follow us, our brand ambassadors TikTok at Job Duck Daily. And if you have the interest, you can find us on Pinterest. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next week with more surprises. And thanks to our guest of today. It was a great episode, and have a great weekend. See you very soon. Bye-bye.
Have a great week, guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you.